Okay, Yogendra Yadav joining us on the broadcast. Mr. Yadav, appreciate your time. What do you make? Because we are now looking at this as a sweep. It seems like a wave election if potentially the NDA is up to the north of 180 seats.
Absolutely. I'm disappointed. I'm not surprised. Disappointed because we from Bharat Jodo Abhiyan have been supporting the opposition. We want to strengthen the opposition. I personally campaigned for Mahagathbandhan, so I have reasons to be disappointed. Surprised, I'm not. The fact of NDA's victory doesn't surprise me. The normal tendency in political analysis is to assume that someone who won, everything worked for them. That's not the case. To my mind, and sometimes in our political analysis, we tend to put too much of emphasis on what happened in the last 1 month or so. To my mind, this election, the fundamentals were with the NDA right from day one. Three or four things. Number one, NDA is a larger coalition than Mahagathbandhan. Larger, if you look at even 2020 election, and if you recall the fact that Chirag Paswan was not in NDA, and then they were equal in terms of votes. So once you look at the current configuration, NDA started with an advantage of something like 5%. It's also larger because it's a bigger social coalition. The Mahagathbandhan draws upon at the most 40% of Bihar's population, Muslims, Yadavs, and a few other smaller communities. The NDA draws upon at least 50% of Bihar's population. So that's a much larger pool to draw upon from. Number three, over the years, systematically, the NDA has targeted, specifically Nitish Kumar, has targeted women voters who have gone beyond the standard caste community lines to favor him a little more. And the latest, you could call it empathy. I was listening to your discussion, but I would call it a straight bribe, which has been legitimized by the Election Commission, just handing over 10,000 rupees when the model code of conduct is in operation. That confirmed it. So these three things have been in NDA's favor, and that tilted the election right from day one in favor of the Mahagathbandhan. This, of course, was cemented by the fact that the entire system, be it the misuse of official machinery, be it the role of money and the media, or be it the role of the Election Commission.
But Mr. Yadav, the problem is, that, respectfully, sir, that we then assume that most of the people in Bihar who have voted in record numbers are either bought or bribed, and which becomes a rather strong assumption to make. So we are assuming that they either took the 10,000 rupees or they took muscle power, money power, and they're all bought over. We've had a historic turnout, sir. Generally, as you know, large turnouts are not good news for the party in power. What do you think has changed that trend?
I don't think you have heard me carefully. I said right from the beginning, in terms of political coalition and in terms of social coalition, NDA is bigger than MGB. So right from the beginning, in the fair election situation as well, the NDA had an advantage, which has been supplemented by this fact of the NDA has worked hard among women over the last few years. Last time it was prohibition. Before that, it was cycle for girl, child. All these schemes have worked. It is only the latest one, which I'm calling bribe. There is no other name for it. It is bribery, plain and simple, and the Election Commission is partisan in this respect. So I'm not saying the entire election was decided just because people were bribed. But it would be foolish to say that the entire election was decided just by bribe. It would be equally foolish to deny the fact that this was bribe, plain and simple, something that Election Commission should have prevented.
Okay. The Congress performance, sir, has come down to single digits as things stand and are likely now to stand. Tejasvi is in trouble in his own seat in Raghopur. He'll probably still win, but it's becoming close. Are there similar factors to what you described? Do they explain these occurrences as well?
I'm surprised by the extent of victory. That NDA was ahead. That NDA was going to to be much ahead of the MGP is something I had a sense. I campaigned for NGP, but I had a sense that NDA was much ahead of them. That was quite clear. However, the number of seats that we see now and the percentage gap, which is nearly 11% or so, that does surprise me because that is not what I sensed on the ground. When Mahagathbandhan is doing as poorly as it is, we must look at the possibility that Mahagathbandhan has made mistakes. To my mind, the simple fact is that what started as a movement of the socially deprived in 1990, the coming of Lalu Prasad Yadav, was a social revolution in Bihar. It was not merely the party of Muslims and Yadavs. It was a party of all the deprived communities of Bihar. Over the years, it has shrunk into a party which is largely supported by Muslims and Yadavs, with only a few people from outside coming in to support that. That is something which the opposition has to look at. The opposition needs to introspect. That Congress has done worse is just as the entire alliance has worked. I'm actually more surprised about the CPI-ML doing as poorly as it has done, because I thought they are the ones who've done work on the ground. At least they have an organization, unlike the Congress. So I'm surprised at that. However, the entire opposition seems to have done much worse than I had expected them to do.
Okay. Yogendra Yadav, if we look at the trends post 2024, my last question to you, where the BJP in itself required the NDA to form a government, it didn't emerge as the single largest party. But after that, from Arunachal to Maharashtra to Odisha, which was a big one in Maharashtra, in Delhi this year, now again in Bihar, in Andhra, albeit again to a partnership. It seems that the trends are all in one direction. So where does that leave national politics?
Not all. I think we've had two major reversals. All others that you mentioned actually happened with the Lok Sabha election. The two major reversals were Maharashtra and Haryana. These were major shocks, major reversals, major upsets for the opposition, which in a sense reversed the overall mood and overall momentum that the opposition has built. Bihar, I would not see as a reversal or major change, because in Bihar, the NDA had already done very well in the Lok Sabha election. So what we are witnessing today is a repetition with a slight upper edge to the opposite, this. So I would not see that as a major thing. To my mind, the real test will come in Uttar Pradesh.
Okay, before we let you go, Sir, Priya Sehgal has a quick question.
Hi, Yogendra Yadav ji, Priya Sehgal here. One quick question. Looking back at the campaign, do you think that this campaign of vote chori may be, emphasizing so much on that and not the local issues? I'm not questioning the issue that was raised, but maybe more local issues would have been better from the Congress side?
That's for Congress to answer. For us, the campaign of campaign against SIR was not a campaign directed at ensuring that this party or that party wins. The campaign was about ensuring that everyone gets the right to vote, that people should not be disenfranchised. And I personally have some sense of satisfaction that SIR, which was originally designed to exclude at least 1.5 crore or 2 crore people, ended up excluding only 40 lakh people or so. That's bad, but not as bad as it could have been. But yes, vote chori by itself cannot be the election campaign. Finally, you have to have election campaign on issues that matter to people's everyday life and livelihoods.
Okay. Yogendra Yadav, appreciate your thoughts on this. As he mentioned, he was involved in the campaign in favor of the Mahagathbandhan, but is explaining how he feels the results have panned out.